Hello, Cherries. Welcome to Live Cherry Sunday, Special Wednesday, episode 213. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how to build minor triads all across the fingerboard. And this is really cool. I've been doing some triads. Last couple weeks, I did the regular major triads. All we're doing is changing one note, make it minor. And I have some graphs. I have a PDF of all these graphs that I'm going to use today. If you want a free copy of that, just email me at info@cherry and I'll send them right over to you. So let me give you a little example of what we'll do today. I have a little loop that I created. It's just an E chord, E power chord, actually. And I'm going to do all the triads real quick over the next. This is what it sounds like. Check it out. Hopefully you can hear that. And I'll put a little delay on it too, just to have some fun with it. Here we go. So if you're enjoying this so far, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I go live every Sunday, usually Sundays, but today's a special Wednesday, and we're doing this today because we missed Sunday, but we do it anyway. So let's get right to it. I have some graphs over here. We'll switch over to this screen right here, and I'll show you that this is the root on the first string set. The 1, 2, 3, we call it from the E, just like this, the E string set, which is the E string, the B string, and the G string, right here. And the root, and I left these open because with these graphs you could do this in any key, so I'm not indicating what key. Right now we're in E minor, but you can do it in any key with these graphs because I just indicated the intervals, which I like talking about the intervals instead of just the note names because I think it's a little bit more important here. So you have the E. Now building a triad, say we did the open E string right here, right? It's a minor triad. So you have the E notes as the root, then you have the third, which would be a G, then you have the fifth, which would be a B. But we can't play all those on one string, so what we're going to do is we're going to play them on 3 different strings. So we could play it, if we did it on the B string, the E would be here, the G would be here. And that would just be 2 notes, the root and the third. But if we do it on the G string here, utilizing all 3 strings here, you get the E, you get the third, which is the G, and you have the fifth, which is the B. So it's good to know the names of the notes here in this case for, remembering, because it's only 3 notes. You have E, G, and B. So that's the first root triad of the string set. Sounds like that. Very common sound over the E. Now, if we went to the second inversion of this, we would just move it up. So here's the third, right? And here's the fifth from the previous one. So we moved it up to here. Same notes. Now you have the third on the bottom, just like that graph indicates. Third on the bottom, the fifth, and then the root. So that's a first inversion, because the third's on the bottom now. So you have the root version, you have the first inversion here, which is also the open strings. Same thing, because this 12th fret indicates half the fretboard right there. Open strings right there. So, okay, so that's that inversion right there. First inversion. Then, second inversion, if you were to play these 2 notes, the G and the B up here, or actually, if you played the B and the E right here, and then the G here, you have a second inversion. You have the fifth on the bottom, the root, then the third. So there's your 3 inversions right there, or 3. Yeah, you have the roots, first inversion, second inversion. And open. So it's really cool. So if you have if someone's playing an E like this, and you were over here in this section, and one guy was doing something like this, you could do up here. Or up here. Or down here. So hopefully you're enjoying this so far. Let's take a swig of some coffee here that I brewed early this morning, about 8 o'clock. So it's a little cold, just like me. It's 7 degrees out here in Brooklyn, New York, and but inside my apartment it's more like 80 degrees because of the heat that's on. So go figure. And hopefully you're enjoying this. If you are, hit that like button. Let's go to the second string set now, and that would be over here. We just take it down to the 2, 3, 4 strings, right there, right? And what we could do is we'll find the root first. So we're always looking for the E note, and the E would be right here. Actually, you know what? Let's go back for 1 second. I want to show you something over here. Let's go back to this first string set. I just want to show you what part of the chord this belongs to right here, this root. Really, it's part of this chord right here, this minor shape, this E minor shape right here. Or if you're thinking about the C.A.G.E.D system, it's like an A shape, but A minor right there, right? This is an A minor. If you took it all the way up, to an E, you have this is a part of that chord. So that first shape is really just part of the E minor chord right there in the A shape. And this one right here is part of the E minor shape. So if you play like an E minor right here, if you have in the C.A.G.E.D system, the E chord, E minor chord, up here, that would be an E minor in the E chord shape right here, just like that. I'm starting on that. And then the other one, the second inversion, which is like this, is part of either the D minor which would be like that, right? Or, oops, or the C shape right here, like a C chord right here, right? But up here in E. Like that. Actually, it's not even part of the D. It'll be part of this C shape right here. There it is right there. Okay. It's handy to know because these are very important shapes. You can see where the triad actually comes from right there. So back to this one in this root version, 2, 3, 4 strings. So that you have the root right up here. And the third is open, and the fifth is open as well. That's part of the E shape, E minor shape right there. Right there, so that's pretty cool. Very common shape. Here's a full E minor chord. Just like that. Okay, if we take it up one to the first inversion, you got this. You start on the third, then you got the fifth, then you got the root right there. Hopefully you can hear me out there. If you are, hit that like button. Let me know if the audio is good, if you hear my guitar, if you hear everything. You got the third on the bottom right here, the fifth, and the root. Because now you're just taking the part of this chord, taking the third and the fifth, and playing it up the neck here. Third, fifth, back to the root on top. Hello, my knees hurt. Where is everyone? We're right here. It's me and you, baby. Well, it's a Wednesday. It's an odd time. Usually it's a Sunday that I go live, so I don't know. But I'll give you a round of applause for popping in and saying hello. We do it anyway, no matter what. If it's me and you, or if it's just me, we keep going. So cheers. Here we go. Robert, does D minor fit with those triads? Yeah, D minor fits with the triads, but we're in E minor right now, so I'm not even playing outside of E right now. And, you know, the D minor shape will fit. And I'll show you when we get to a shape with the D minor, for sure. Thank you for that. My knees hurt laughing out loud. 9:13 there. Well, it's 12:13 here. So you must be on the West Coast. Real early for you. Early. Yep, it is early on the West Coast, that's for sure. So, this one right here, this shape, first inversion on the 2, 3, 4 string set. And this is part of the C shape, C minor shape right here. Just like that. And here's the D minor shape right there, just like that. So a D minor shape would be like this. Check it out. It'd be like that. Over E minor. There you go. Check it out. Let's tune that up first. Close enough for rock and roll, right? Okay. That's the first inversion right there. Then we'll get out of that one and we'll play the second inversion, which is up here. We know this chord because it's just a regular E minor chord up here, but it's the A shape, A minor shape, all the way up here. Just like this top part was on this first inversion, on the first string set up on 1, 2, 3. But now we're just going down to here. So it's still the same part of the chord, but we're on a different string set here, starting on the 5th. See, check it out. See, it sounds different, doesn't it? As opposed to this. Even though it's part of the same chord. So pretty cool. All right, Robert. Jeff Watson would sit in with Jerry. Jeff Watson would yell, "I'm not worthy." Yeah, right. Give me a round of applause for that. That is one of my goals in life, to jam with Jeff Watson. So you're on the right path with that one there. Thank you for that. And all right, so we did both of those string sets. Really cool stuff so far. I mean, we've already played the E minor chord in multiple places already, 6 different places. Instead of just playing it right here or right here. Now, you know, this coming Sunday, what we're going to do is we're going to play solos within these minor shapes, kind of like we did with the regular major shapes. And I thought that was really cool, how we played the solos in between. Instead of just playing those triads, we're going to mess around with some licks in between these things, which is really cool. So instead of playing the E right there, we played it here, we played it here, we played it here. And we doubled up. We played it up here again, here, and there. We played it here, 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 you know, and right there, right there. Tried to play it up here. It's hard. So all these different areas on the neck, just playing the same chord. It's really helpful. So you'll know E minor. Well, where am I going to play? I can play it everywhere, depending on what it is that you're looking for. In that particular song or whatever you're playing right there. It's good. Instead of just knowing it in one key or one position, you can play it everywhere. So, okay, so we have the next string shape right here. And it's the 3-4-5 string shape. So I always like to, let's find the root first. Well, the root on the 5th string is right here. Right there, right? So you have the E, the G, and the B right there. And of course, you know, we could always map it out by hitting the E. Here's the minor 3rd, the G, but we're going to play it on the next string. Same note. And then the 5th, be a B up there. Okay. That's the E triad on that. But I'm going to show you something really cool. When you get to the next one, playing the 3 and the 5, here's the 3rd, the 5th, and the root. If you're playing and you ever get lost, just kind of look for the next note up. We'll see you're on the E. Well, the next one will be a G, so I know that there's a G note, and I know that's the 5th and the root right there. G, B, E. So that's the first inversion. And here's the second inversion. So I'm going to take the 5th. Here's the 3rd. Here's the 5th. The root. 5th, root, 3rd. Now, real quick, just going back to this root version. This is part of a C shape right here. Check it out. Because it looks like a C, right? Here would be a C chord. or C minor. If you slide it up to E, C shape. So it's part of the same thing. This next one up here was, that's part of a, what would that be? That's part of a G shape right there. Because you have the third, fifth, it'd be like this. Arpeggio. G. Here's like a regular G chord, would be like this. Right? We're making it minor. Here's part of it. When you have the third, the fifth, and the root like that, it's kind of like a block right there. Which makes it a G6, technically, or just an inversion of an E minor, because you're playing the third on the bottom. Third, fifth, root. Hello, Jer. Good to see you. Sorry, our season's over. Steelers, but there's always next year, right? Always next year. Give a round of applause. Hello, Bobby. Good to see you playing some guitar. Good to see you, my man. All right. So, you know, one of the great things about these two, if you ever get lost on here, say you got this triad or this loop going here with an E chord, right? What you can do is on this string shape that we're playing on, here we're on the 3, 4, 5 right here. Starting this root. Where's the next one? It's like, I can always look up and see, well, you know what? It's only 3 notes, E, G, and B. My next one's going to start on the G. And I know that here's the chord right here. Here's the fifth and the root. And I know that here's the fifth. Here's the B right here. And I know these shapes. Distortion on. So, pretty fun stuff. Hello, Finny. JC, hope you at least got an Italian beef at Midway Airport in Chicago. Used to work there over 20 years ago. Well, I'll tell you what, I didn't have that, but I did have a Chicago dog. It wasn't, you know, they're not the best Chicago dogs in that airport. It's called like American Dog. It's not like that one of the famous Chicago dogs, but it was really good. I had one of those. And I also had, because I was there for a long time, I had a deep dish pizza, cheese pizza, a little personal one. It was very good as well. Yeah, I was stuck at Midway Chicago Airport for like, I think I was there for like 16 or 18 hours. Slept there overnights because the New York airports were closed on Sunday due to icy runways and brake malfunction on one of the planes. So that was quite an experience there. But thank you, Finny. Robert, if the E could be played in places on the neck, on the neck, will the band tell you the best place to play that E? Or how do you decide which E? Well, it's up to you to decide. You know, if the band's playing over here, if the band's playing like this, really depends on what flavor you want to play. If you want more of a beefy play down here, like a you might want to play something a little bit more you know, you want maybe ring out some of the chords and play it up here. You might want to do something up here. Made a couple other chords in there, but it really depends on the flavor that you're going for. If you want something close to the chord down here, play it here, down here. You know, you want to do something like a something up here. So it's really up to you to determine what it is that you're looking for and what inversion you want to play over something. You know, if someone's playing down here, you want to move it around there somewhere and play something up here. Or up here. Or up here. That's how you get separation and orchestration going in a production. So pretty cool. Hopefully that answered your question a little bit. If it is, hit that like button. And yeah, pretty cool. Any questions about any of this stuff, let me know. These inversions are great for stuff like that, like Robert, like what you asked right there. Depends on wherever. I mean, it could be you, like I was saying, just to come up with what you feel is right. But if someone says, hey, you know, I do want something up higher, play something up higher on the neck, well, now you'll know. It's like, well, how do I get up higher? I'm just going to play these different inversions up there. And maybe I'll start with, instead of the first, I'll start with the third. You know? Like, you know, like in the case of what we're just doing here, you know, with, on this string set right here. If someone's playing the roots already, someone's playing this root note, you don't have to start on the root. Like for instance, check this out. I'll make this loop right here. We'll do this. We'll come up with this. Check this out. Do something like this. We'll start the drum machine. Oh, we don't need the drum machine. It's kind of stupid. We'll do like a someone's playing something like this. 2, 3, 4. I guess we're using the drum machine. And I played something like a little bit higher, went up here. Or up here. On the fifth. I'm harmonizing with myself. Check it out, here's the third. Or in the third, if I can play the third up here too. Check it out. stuff like that. It's pretty cool. It's really just up to you and where you want to go with it, what you want to do. So pretty cool. My knees hurt. People in Chicago know that pizza should be thin. Well, you know what? I was thinking about that. It was like, I was in Chicago and I was eating the Chicago pizza and I'm thinking to myself, you know, being from New York and everything and loving New York pizza. And I will say that, you know, I'm a New York pizza guy, thin crust, you know, all day. But if I'm in New York, that's what I believe. If I'm in Chicago, then it's deep dish pizza all the way. I'm not going to Chicago for a New York slice of pizza, and I'm not expecting Chicago pizza here in New York. You know, I'm kind of like, you know, wherever I am is the place to be, you know. Wherever I am, I'm going to enjoy the food from that city. Whether Chicago has amazing pizza. So what pizza's better? I don't know. It depends on where you are, really. If I'm in New York, it's New York pizza. If I'm in Chicago, Chicago pizza or Chicago hot dog, you know. So, but, you know, you do have a good point. You know, people in Chicago know that pizza should be thin. Well, I don't know what they think, actually. I never really talked to a Chicago person about that. Maybe you're telling me that, and I believe you. I just feel like, you know, I love them both. I mean, it's pretty cool. I think it was a place called Connie's. They might be a famous, it seems as though, I think they were established in 1963. That's part of my photographic memory working right now. Yeah, right. I wish. But I do remember seeing the sign. It says 1963 established, and it's pretty cool. You know, it's good pizza. Connie's Pizza. Although it was in an airport. I'm not going to think that it's maybe as good as maybe some of the restaurants out there. But it was good pizza. Really, really nice. Connie's is all over Chi-Town. Yeah, sounds familiar. And I'm thinking I should have got the sausage on it. You know, I just got plain cheese because I didn't know what I wanted to order exactly. I should have got the sausage. And I did get the hot dog. What's the name of that famous hot dog place out there? Picorello's, something like that. I mean, there was a hotel we stayed at by one of those and twice, and that was an amazing hot dog. Way better than the one at the airport. But the one in the airport was good too. I like those peppers they put on it. They call them sport peppers, I believe. Very hot, very spicy. I mean, it'll make your eyes water, for sure. And my knees hurt. I heard that from a guy in Chicago. I was amazed. Oh, yeah? I believe it. I mean, you know, you always want what you can't have, right? I love pizza. I made 2 pizzas last week. Oh, so do I. There it is. Portillo's has awesome Italian beefs. Yeah. Portillo's. Great pizza there. We have them in here. In AZ2, Arizona. The Portillo's or Connie's? Portillo's. Yeah. Man, I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. Oh, I'm getting hungry thinking about those. Chicago. I'm going back to Chicago. Actually, I am going back to Chicago. But I tell you what, man. I was stuck there for like a long time. I'll tell you real quick what happened here and we'll move on to this. You know, I was flying home from Tampa and it took me 24 hours to fly from Tampa, believe it or not, to New York. I left on Sunday morning at 7 o'clock from my hotel, and I got home. No, I left Saturday morning. Sorry. No, I left Sunday. Sunday morning at 7 o'clock for a 10 a.m. flight. It was supposed to be Tampa Airport to Midway, and then Midway to LaGuardia. No problem, right? Well, I found out in Tampa that the Chicago flight canceled. So I wound up, because of icy runways and a snowstorm, that I had no idea was even coming into New York, because I was gone for like 10 days, and I didn't know a storm was coming in. So they canceled the flight from Midway to New York, but I wound up taking the Tampa to Midway anyway to wait for the next flight, which was at 6 o'clock. So I knew I would have to wait for a long time. So I waited. I got there to Midway at about, I don't know, 11 something, right? Had to wait for 6 o'clock. That's a long time to wait layover, but I figure, okay, whatever, you know. So we get on the plane for 6:30. I think that was a little bit late, 7 o'clock. Turns out there was an issue with the brakes on that plane. The captain came on and announced issue with the brakes. We don't want to land on an icy runway with horrible brakes. So they tried to fix it, couldn't do it. We all had to get off. We had all get off the plane, go down to another gate, get on another plane, wait there, just to find out that they closed LaGuardia Airport, and now we're all screwed, basically. So we have to get off the plane again. Now it's like 8 something at night. They automatically booked me for the next morning, 6 a.m. So while everybody else, I guess, went off and got a hotel room, which wasn't complimentary because I guess they blamed it on weather, which they don't cover. But technically they should have, because the first flight was due to bad brakes, right? So I decided, you know what? I'm not going out there. It's 0 degrees in Chicago, and it was pretty cold in the airport. So I'm like, I'm just going to sleep right here, find a spot. I'll just do some work, you know, computer or whatever. And so slept over, maybe fell asleep a couple times on one of the benches out there. It was maybe me and like 2 other people in the whole airport. It was crazy. So 5:30 in the morning, we boarded, got on the plane, and it was a sunny, beautiful day in New York. And luckily, we were able to land. So I got home Monday morning. You know, crazy for that. So not very happy that it took me a full day to get home from Tampa. I could have drove literally in that time, right? So terrible. And yeah, it happens, but whatever. I'm here now, right? So that's why we couldn't go live on Sunday, because and then I had some appointments yesterday. And actually, we scheduled for Monday. I couldn't do it Tuesday, but here we are on Wednesday doing it. So like I said, if we can't do it Sunday or Monday, Sunday, Monday, going live. We'll do it on Wednesday. So all good. So let's go down to the 4th and final group here that we have of this. Remember, this Sunday we're going live, and we're going to do like soloing within these. It's going to be a lot of fun, because I had a lot of fun last time with that. So here is the next string sets. Did I do this one? This inversion right here? Yeah, that's the 3rd. There's the 5th of that. The next string set, it's basically kind of like the 3, 4, 5, but it's the 4, 5, 6. Going the 4, 4th, 5th, and 6th strings. Here's the root, E minor triad, right here, like that. Triad, but up here. It looks like a G shape, because here's a G chord right here, like this. Major, making it minor. If we go up 1 to the first inversion, it's right up here. It's easy to remember these first inversions, because here's like the other one that we did that was major. We're just making it minor. And here you can see this bar chord shape, but we're starting on the G, but we're continuing to play the bar chord. These notes, the 5th on the root, but we're putting the 3rd on the bottom. Or down here. And it looks like here's your D minor shape. So here's the minor. Why is that a D minor shape? Well, here's a D minor right here. Here's a D chord in the C.A.G.E.D system. Make it minor. Bring it up to E. Or up here too. Here's the first inversion, or down here. If you want a PDF of these graphs, all of them, just email me, info@Cherry, and I'll shoot them right over to you. And here's the last one. starting on the fifth. It's really cool to know these inversions. Check it out. Here's an E to a D to a G. By going down, you know, here's an E minor, D major to a G. Instead of playing it like this, E minor, D, G. Play it like this. It's a little bit more magical, right? A little more sophisticated sounding. Instead of all roots. Play it down here. Feels like you're leading somewhere. Instead of just, you know. A little bit more musical. I think. You know. So we went through all of the inversions on all 4 string sets. String sets meaning the 1, 2, 3, and then the 2, 3, 4, and then the 3, 4, 5, and then 4, 5, 6. And then the 3 different shapes because you have 3 notes in a triad, so you start on the root, or you start on the 3rd, or you start on the 5th. And it just rotates through just like that. So, any questions about this stuff, let me know. And what are you drinking out there, by the way? I know it's beer o'clock somewhere. But I still have my coffee and I'm enjoying it, you know. And it's not like an ice cold IPA or anything like that, which would be definitely more refreshing today. But it's Wednesday, hump day, and looking forward to seeing y'all on Sunday to do this minor triads, but soloing within the shapes. And that's going to be pretty cool. Because, you know, we'll get a little taste. I'll give you a little taste of it right now. See, if we have this loop right here, right? And if we took this first minor shape with the root right here, right? You took something like this, the shape right here. You know, what you could do is you take this, you just kind of play the minor pentatonic scale there. Oops, not that note. Or up here. Just messing around a little bit within the shapes, and we're going to get to some of that next week. We're going to go through all of the different ones. So jumping the gun a little bit here, but I'm excited about it. Drinking the beer I left. You know what? I was just thinking about that this morning. That's so funny that you brought that up. Let me see it. Drinking the beer I left on a nightstand last night, 8.3% alcohol, I'm assuming. something. Room temperature, but it's freezing in here. So, it's funny too. I was in Manhattan. Oh, I'm in Brooklyn, but I was in the city the other day, and I bought a water from one of those outside stands that are usually like lukewarm, right? Because it was 10 degrees out. The water was like really, really cold. So, wonder why. But what's funny is I had a beer last night, and I have these. I think it was the Brewdog IPA that I bought, and last night it was pretty late, and I was like, let me just have one of these things, right? So I have the frozen glass in the freezer, right? I had the IPA. I drank about half of it. I left it on my nightstand, and this morning when I woke up, it was sitting there, and I looked at it, and I thought about you, and I thought, wow, this is like, I should drink it. And I thought, nah, I didn't feel like it this morning. I was like, I got to get to work right now, right? But it wasn't really cold. It was room temperature. If it was half as cold as it was outside, it would be perfect, right? Frozen. There's only like a little bit left anyway, so I didn't waste too much of it. And so Christie's is having a live Jeff Beck auction. I watched some of that the other day. I don't think I could afford one of his picks. Actually, I didn't watch the program, but I saw on YouTube that they were doing that. And I was like, oh, it's pretty cool. Over Christie's. I've been in there once or twice. And it's amazing how they treat some of the stuff. I saw some stuff in the back that were like priceless paintings that were just kind of lying around. I thought, wow, this is pretty weird for them to keep art like this. Maybe they were just copies, I don't know, but they were just kind of lying around. Maybe Jeff Beck's guitar was just lying around back there. Might be in jail right now. So, yeah, pretty cool. Any questions about this stuff? Got a little bit more time here. Thanks for watching this. And, it's pretty cool. I mean, think of all the sounds here that you have going through these triads. Instead of playing this E, that's all the E I'm doing right here. I'm going, you stuff like this. I'm letting the chords ring a bit too. I'm trying to let them ring out, like this one. Not really choking them, Ring them, let them ring out. A little vibrato. Natural vibrato, finger vibrato. All right, went off the rails a little bit, but we do that sometimes. Just having some fun. All right. So when you throw out picks to the crowd, when you throw out picks to the crowd, I'll show you. Actually, I don't even have them on there. I put them away because I'm an idiot. But I have some Cherry picks. When you throw out picks to the crowd, are you keeping your original, actually throwing a thinner pick out? You know what's funny? I use these picks. I'll show you a little closer up. I use these when I play. These Jazz 3s right here. They're 1.5 millimeters. They're really good because they're real heavy for picking like but the ones that I throw out are full size Cherry picks, and they're 1.5, but they're not the same roundness on the tip right here, and they're bigger, full size, and I throw them out, and I grab them like right before I throw them out. So like I'm playing, and I'll have, playing a song or whatever, and I'll just kind of throw it, and I'll grab a Cherry pick before I go out if I know I'm going to be in flicking distance, right? And I'll throw it out, and I enjoy it. It's pretty fun to see the kids, or anyone from 91 to 10, enjoy the picks, and it's pretty fun. Please play Blair. What is Blair? Is that a place? Blair sounds like a place. Blair does sound like a place. Well, thanks, Bonnie. I'll come out to Blair for sure. It's like the Blair Witch Project. Now, where is Blair? I don't know where Blair is, but it sounds familiar. Blair. Love Jazz 3s with the grippy texture. I grew up on the those. For some reason I cleaned up my shelf and I put all of my picks I don't use away. And I just kept these. These are all the Jazz 3s, and there's a couple of other ones in here, like this black one right here. That these are kind of closer to the original ones. These are like a newer ones with the harder texture. But I grew up on the Jazz 3s, the red ones, and I got a bag full of them. I've got a duffel bag full of Jazz 3 picks. The original hard texture ones, the red and the black. That's all I had is red and black, and I had a million of them. I still have them. But for some reason, I like these better without the texture on them. I don't know. They just feel a little bit nicer to me. It's a band in the 90s. Oh, Bonnie, it's a band in the 90s. Please play Blair. Okay, I don't know if I know who they are or not, but I'll have a listen to them. I will definitely check that out. So just noodling around in all the inversions of E minor. So having a good time. Any questions about this stuff, let me know. We're going to wrap it up here in a second, but thank you so much, Bonnie. I'm going to check that out, that band Blair in the 90s, because 90s was a great decade for music. I didn't quite enjoy it as much when I was there in the 90s. But in hindsight, you know, I look at the bands, and it was really like kind of like the last great decade, for my opinion, of the bands and music. Because after that, in 2000s, what were they? I mean, what bands came out? A lot of it kind of ended there, in my opinion, you know, for the great bands. It was in the 90s. Of course, I'm more of a product of the 80s, you know, the 1880s, that is. And so thank you so much for hanging out. Really appreciate it. On a Wednesday, you know, and that's real cool. But tune in on Sunday, because we're going to do something real cool. And if you want a PDF of all these graphics that I made, you know, like every one of them, not your name, but all these graphics, I have a PDF with all of them indicated what inversion they are, the root, first version, all that stuff. Just email me, info@JerryCherry, and I'll shoot that right over to you. And it'll be real helpful to get it now, because next week we're going to solo within each one of these. I'm going to come up with different licks and all that stuff. It's going to be so much fun. Really excited about that. If you have any ideas for any future lessons, let me know. And so thank you so much, My Knees Hurt, and Bonnie for the recommendations, and Robert, My Knees Hurt, and thanks for everybody who spent some time here from Phoenix. Get me some Chicago deep dish. Maybe one of those Portillo's. Can never remember that name for some reason. Portillo's. And yeah, thanks everybody for popping in, spending some time. Robert and Jer, you guys are the best. Tim Nolan from the West Coast. They're 5:13. I didn't see that one. 5:13. My niece heard said it was 9:13. So 5:13. That's 4 more hours ahead. Where are you watching from? Hawaii, or where is that? You're somewhere in the middle of the Pacific Ocean? It's way behind there, but pretty cool. Unless it's ahead. I don't know. You could be ahead in England somewhere. Yeah, it's probably more like it. Or Sweden, possibly. All right. Thank you guys. Are the best. And keep those questions coming. And really appreciate it. And E minor. You can play this in any key, though. With these graphs, you can basically, I left them open for that. So, you know, keep playing. Keep that guitar warm. And remember, be cool. Be kind from the hearts. And be cherry. And I will see you in the next video. And if you want to see another video that I made creating regular triads, the major ones, I'll put it right up there. I love you. You guys are the best. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day, everybody. Peace.